Hello students, welcome to Well Explained Pedia. Today I am here with class 10th biology, chapter life processes, and the subtopic is transport, and in this section we are going to study about the transport in plants. So students, before starting transport in plants, we should know what is transport. We all know that the body of every organism, whether it is a plant or an animal, it is made up of cells. Large organism's body has millions and millions of cells in its body. In order that the organism may be able to maintain its life and survive, all its cells must be supplied with essential substances like food, oxygen, water, etc. So some arrangements is required inside the body of an organism which can carry the essential substances to all its parts so that they reach each and every cell of its body. And this arrangement is done by the life process which is known as transport. Now, transport is the life process in which substances which are absorbed or made in one part of the body of an organism is carried to other parts of the body. Substances absorbed or made का क्या मतलब है? As you know, in plants, photosynthesis takes place, so the substances are made. The food is prepared in a part of body and it is carried to the other parts of the body. And in case of animals, the food is digested in the small intestine where there it is absorbed and it is carried to the other parts of the body. Now coming to the transport in plants. Transport system in plants is less elaborate than in animals. Why? Because plants are not so active. They are fixed at a place and there is a lot of difference between the body structure of plants and animals. The plant's body is less complicated in comparison to the body of an animal. So as the plants are less active, so their cells do not need to be supplied with material so quickly. Also due to the branched nature of a plant, all the cells of a plant, they can get oxygen for respiration and carbon dioxide for photosynthesis directly from the air by diffusion. So what is the need for the transportation system in plants? That is the transportation of water and minerals from the root to every cell, and the food which is prepared in the leaves, it should be transported to the other parts of the plant. The plants have two transport systems. Okay, one is xylem, which carries water and minerals from the roots to the other parts of the plant, and in the transportation of water and minerals, no energy is required in the form of ATP. And as you will study in the later section, the xylem is made up of dead cells. Now the next transport system is phloem. Phloem transports food, example sucrose, amino acids, and here energy is used in the form of ATP, and phloem is made up of living cells. We are going to describe about xylem and phloem. This xylem and phloem together forms the vascular tissue. That is, vascular tissue is composed of xylem and phloem, as these vascular tissues, that is xylem and phloem, are present all over the plant body. So xylem and phloem, this vascular tissue, if you see in the plant's leaf, it will look like this. It is distributed like this. This green portion is the ground tissue and vascular is in the center, and this portion is the dermal tissue system. Dermal means the epidermis. Okay. Now the vascular bundle in a stem. You can see the vascular bundle in a stem is like this. arranged dermal tissue, that is the epidermis. Then this green one is the ground tissue, and these are the vascular bundles. And this is the vascular tissue in root. Same dermis, ground tissue, and the vascular tissue. You can see the arrangement of the vascular tissue in all the three organs of a plant is different. Now coming to xylem. Xylem conducts water and minerals, as we have studied, from the roots to the parts of the plant, means each and every cell. Why? Because water and minerals, water is required for the process of photosynthesis, and it should reach each and every cell of the body. Xylem consists of four types of cells. These are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. The tracheids and vessels, they help to transport water and minerals from root to all parts of the body. Xylem parenchyma stores food, and fibers help in support. They give mechanical strength. Means out of the four types of cells which are present in xylem, xylem is a tissue. It's a complex plant tissue, you must have studied in class 9. Out of these four types of cells, only this xylem parenchyma is living. The rest of the three are dead. That is why it is said that xylem is a dead tissue, because 75% of the cells of xylem, they are dead. Now, what causes the upward flow within the xylem? We know when there is sun, because of the heat of the sun, water evaporates from the aerial parts of the sun. Aerial parts means from the leaves which are in the air. Okay. This process of removal of water in the form of vapors from the aerial parts of the plant is known as transpiration. When this transpiration takes place, what happens? A suction pressure is created inside the body of the plant, which makes the water move in the upward direction because of this suction pressure. Okay. Now, how are root hair adapted for absorption? They are long and they provide a large surface area for the absorption of water and minerals, and they also have a thin cell wall. These adaptations help the root hairs to absorb water and minerals. You can see this root hair cell has an extension. This is the root hair. This is extended like this. You can see these are the soil particles, the brown one, and how the water moves in this. The water gets absorbed. The plants take in water from the soil through their roots, especially this structure known as root hair. This water called xylem sap, because this water is going to travel in the xylem, this is known as xylem sap. It is carried by the xylem vessel to all parts of the plant. Now how does this happen? The roots of a plant have hair called root hairs. The function of root hairs is to absorb water and minerals from the soil. The root hairs are directly in contact with a film of water in between the soil particles. Water and dissolved minerals, they get into the root hairs by the process of diffusion. Here, when the water enters from the soil to the root hair, this is due to diffusion. The process of diffusion, as you know, what is diffusion? Diffusion is the movement of particles from the region of higher concentration to region of lower concentration. Now, the water and minerals absorbed by the root hair from the soil pass from cell to cell by up. यहाँ से जब from cell to cell, when the water is traveling, this travels due to the process of osmosis. What is the process is known as osmosis. So here the water from the soil to the root hair, it enters through diffusion, and the movement of water from cell to cell is due to the process of osmosis. The xylem vessels of the root of the plant, they are connected to the xylem vessel of the stem. We know these xylem vascular bundles are present in each part of the plant, that is root, stem, leaves. The xylem vessels of the root, they are in contact with the xylem vessels of the stem. So the water containing dissolved minerals enters from the root xylem vessel to the stem xylem vessels. Similarly, the xylem vessels of the stem branch into the xylem vessels of the leaves. So, the water and minerals carried by the xylem vessels in the stem reach the leaves, and in this way, the water and minerals from the soil, they reach to the root hair through diffusion, from xylem vessel of the root hair to the xylem vessel of the stem through the process of osmosis, and from the xylem vessel of stem to the xylem vessel of the leaves also through the process of osmosis. Now, when the water reaches the leaves, some part of it is used in the process of photosynthesis, and the rest of the water is evaporated by the process of transpiration. This movement of water, okay, from the soil, that is from the root to the leaves, is because of the transpiration pull. Okay, the evaporation of water from the leaves of a plant is called as transpiration, and the continuous evaporation of water or transpiration from the cells of a leaf, it creates a kind of suction which pulls up water through the xylem vessel, and this suction pressure is known as transpiration pull. Now, transport of water and mineral salts. Transport of water and minerals, it takes place in xylem. You can see water lost by transpiration. It makes a suction pressure, capillary action, and water is absorbed by the root and it moves towards the upward part of the plants. The movement of water and minerals in the xylem is only in one direction. It is unidirectional, that is from the root to the top part of the plant. Now, there are three forces that move the water upward in the xylem. These forces are root pressure, that is a force that pushes water up the xylem, which is produced by the continuous movement of water through the root cells. Second force is the capillary action, a force that pushes water up the narrow xylem vessel. And the third is the transpiration pull, a force that pulls water up the xylem produced by evaporation of water from the leaves. Now this is the sequence. Water absorbed into roots through the root hair cells. Water carried to the leaves through xylem vessels. Water evaporates from the underside of the leaves. Water escapes through holes called stomata, and this process is transpiration. As water evaporates, more is sucked up by xylem. Stomata open and close to control water loss. Open, oxygen and carbon dioxide enter and exit. Closed, reduces the water loss. This is the sequence in the movement of water and minerals in the plant. Now coming to translocation. Translocation is the movement of organic solutes, sucrose, from a source to a sink through phloem by means of mass flow. Okay, the food is prepared in the palisade cells, that is containing chloroplast. Then it moves to phloem, and from phloem it reaches to the sink, that is the root cell. From source to sink. The transport of food from the leaves to the other parts of the plant is called as translocation. This process is known as translocation. Translocation is the long distance transport of food materials within a plant that we have already studied. Now, what is formed in the process of photosynthesis? Glucose. The glucose produced by photosynthesis in leaf, it is converted into sugars, mainly sucrose, and then it is translocated to different parts of the plant. Now, what are the different parts of the plant where it is transported? To the growing regions to be used as energy for growth. It is moved to the storage organs, fruit to be stored mainly as sugars, and to the storage organ, tubers and roots to be stored mainly as starch. So it moves to each and every part of the plant, this food, and it has certain functions. Means if it reaches to the growing regions, it is used as energy for growth. If it reaches to the fruits, it is stored in the form of sugars, and if it reaches to the storage organs such as tubers and roots, it is stored mainly as starch. Now coming to phloem. Phloem is also a tissue, complex plant tissue. It consists of four types of cells: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. The sieve tubes and the companion cells, they transport food from leaves to all parts of the plant, whereas phloem parenchyma stores food and fibers help in support. Out of these four cells, only fibers, phloem fibers are dead. The rest of the three, that is sieve tubes, companion cells and phloem parenchyma, are living cells. That is why phloem is called as a living tissue. That's all for the transport in plants. We'll soon meet with transport in animals. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it and press the bell icon so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will get notification. Have a nice day. God bless you.